So welcome. We're going to spend a few minutes here and talk about your new password manager, which is called Keeper or Password Keeper. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time on security, but I just wanted to mention it is a very secure enterprise level password manager. One of the main features is something called zero knowledge. You may have heard that. It's a bit of a buzzword, and what it really means is that the company, Keeper, has no knowledge of your data. Of course, everything is encrypted on their servers, and they don't have the encryption key. Each individual person, when they create a master password, so this is your main password that you use to get into the program, it's the only password you need to remember really. When you create that one, that's your encryption key, and so that's what enables you to see the data. They don't know what that password is, so even if they got hacked, the hackers would not be able to get anything because they don't have your encryption key. Even if an authoritative entity demanded the data, they would not be able to produce it because they don't have it. So that's what zero knowledge is, and a good password manager should have that. Another thing a good password manager should have is convenience, and we see here in the download section that there's 3 entry points to your passwords. The first one is a desktop program that you can run on Windows or Mac. I'll show you that in a minute. And the other, what they call Keeper Fill, this is what integrates with your browser and makes it super easy to log in to websites. I'm going to show you, but basically it says 1 or 2 clicks and you're in. Easy peasy. And it supports all the major browsers. And finally, there's a mobile app, so you can even put it on your phone and you can always just use it to check passwords that way. So let's take a look at that desktop app. So this is the Password Keeper desktop app. It's very straightforward. So basically you can create folders and you can create subfolders underneath those folders. And you can assign permissions to your folders. So it depends on the person. Maybe some of you, you're not sharing any of your passwords with anybody else. You've just got your own company passwords in there. But for many of you, there may be passwords that many of you use, and in that case, you would create a shared folder like I've done here with my first one and allowed other people to access it. We're happy to help you set up those groups and those permissions. When we do create a record, there's many different types we can choose. They're not just necessarily logins to a website. You can put any kind of information in your vault. You should think of it as your digital vault, and you can put whatever you like in there, whether it's files or photos or pictures of your driver's license and passports and stuff like that. You can store it in there. One really cool thing, just before I do that, there's a search feature up here which is it just works really well, so you can just start typing and it will find whatever you're looking for. One cool thing to mention is that with your license here that you get through work, you actually get a free personal account as well, and that's important. It'll be super easy to toggle between the two. From the account one here, I don't have two, I only have one, but if I did, I could easily toggle. The key part of that is that you do not want to store your own personal passwords in your Genuine Media password vault. That's just a good policy. The day may come when you leave Genuine Media, and when you do, it could be difficult if your own passwords are mixed in with all the other ones, and you could potentially lose them because that's property of the organization if you put it in there. So for that reason, you create your own personal one. It's free, and you can put all your own personal passwords in there. If you do end up leaving Genuine Media, you'll have to start paying for it, of course, but it's pretty reasonably priced. So, okay, so that's the desktop app. Let's take a look at the browser integration now. So as I mentioned, the browser integration is called Keeper Fill. So you can just go here. I'll help you. I'll provide instructions, but you'll go to this page. It should auto-select the browser you're using, and you just click Add, and it will add it. When it's added, you'll notice it shows up at the top in the upper right corner. So let's see how easy this is to work. So the first thing I'll do is I'll go to a site that I already have an account with. Let's just go to chess.com here. So if I go there and I log in, and in this case, it just populates for me. So I just have to click Login. Now, if we click the icon in the upper right, it does show where we are, one suggested record. And if we click it, you notice that's an option. Do you want the information to autofill? You might click no to that, or you don't have to click no, but when the first time you ever log in, it'll say, do you want to autofill? You can choose yes or no. If it's something that you have multiple accounts for, like maybe you've got more than one Google account or Microsoft account or something, then you probably don't want to do that, because then you're going to be able to choose from a drop down which login you want. And if you even I personally don't like doing this, but you can also auto submit. In that case, if I chose that, when I got here, when I went to chess.com, I would not have to click a single mouse button. It would just log me in. Okay, so you can choose that based on your own preference. So let me show you now a new site. So let's go to Walmart, because I don't have an account with them. So we go to Walmart, and I'm going to go to sign in, and I will create an account. Now, as soon as I go here to create an account, we see the little keeper button in the field here, and if I click it, it's actually going to check to see if there is a record. If there was one, it would show it to us and offer us to enter it. But in this case, there isn't one. So I just click Create New Record, and we just have to fill in a few things here. So the title, well, we're going to call it Walmart, and let's say I'm going to go with that email address, and it's gone ahead and given me a random password. You can use that, or you can change it. If you don't like it, you can click the dice and get a different one. So that's how easy that is. You can also, like for example, some websites are funny with special characters and they only take so many. So actually what I usually do is this. I turn off. You can adjust the character length and all that. I turn off, and now I get one without. But some of them do require at least one, so I'll just put my cursor anywhere, backspace, and I'll just throw in one there. I mean, it doesn't really matter how many you have, it's still super secure. That's a very long password of random characters. It's not going to be guessed. So that's a suggestion. And once that's done, I click Save. And then I can, let's try this again. Now that we put that in there, let's just say I've gone through the process and actually created the account. So now when I go in here, it's finding it for me. So we're going to fill the record, and I'll click Next. Of course, it's not going to find it, so it's not going to happen. So that gives you an idea of just how easy it is. So there's a couple main things here that we want to remember, and that is that we want to avoid trying to remember all our passwords. That's what happens to people. They choose weak passwords, or they reuse passwords because they don't want to have to remember yet another password. We need to move away from that, and you need to trust your password manager. So many of my accounts, probably 80% of them, are just random characters. So but they're always available to me if I need them, and it works really well. So what happens next is that you will already have received an invitation, an automated email from Keeper Security directly to you. So you can pretty much just follow the instructions in that email. You're going to be clicking a link. You're going to choose your master password. This is the only password that you need to remember. So you don't want to make it too simple, but this is one that you probably don't want to be a random string of characters, but make it secure, but something that is not too difficult to type in, because you'll have to type it in quite often, probably, maybe every day. And if you have any questions along the way, I think there will be links in the email to download the certain things we've talked about here. But just in case, if you go to keepersecurity.com and click the download link at the top, you can install A, your desktop, B, your browser integration, depending on what you have, and if you want it, the mobile app as well. They'll walk you through that. We're here for you to support you along the way here. So if you have any trouble, you know where to reach us. Thank you.